All right, fellas, everybody talks about confidence, but nobody actually talks about why do we want confidence. And I'm about to tell you the real reason you want to be confident. And I used to have no confidence at all, and I'm about to tell you what that looked like. But the reason you want to be confident is because if you are truly confident, what this means is you are truly secure in who you are. You are truly secure in your authentic self. And some of you, which is okay, may not even know what that authentic version of yourself looks like. Some of you may have not even tapped into the God-given version of yourself, the God-given potential that you have, that personality that you've been suppressing for so long. A lot of you probably haven't gotten to that point, and that's okay. That's why we're here. That's why we want to learn confidence, because there is this version of yourself that shows up and does not care about what anybody else thinks. And it's not about this haughtiness and this arrogance where I don't care what anybody thinks about me. It's more so about I'm going to show up as the best version of myself. I'm going to show up as the version of myself that is truest to my core every single day, regardless of what anybody thinks. And for me, this was not me for the longest time. I'm telling you, I would have been the last guy to be doing anything on social media. I was super shy all the way into high school and even into college. I was in a 4-year relationship in college. I was in a couple longer relationships in high school. I was never super social, especially with girls. And when that 4-year relationship at the end of college came to an end, I got dumped. I was deathly afraid to talk to any girls. I had no confidence because I was so afraid of being rejected. I was so afraid that they were going to think I was stupid or I sounded like a fool. There was also areas in my life where my lack of confidence was very evident as well. I would always question myself when I was going out to like a social event, to the bar, or hang out with some friends. I would always question the outfit that I was wearing because I didn't want to be judged for it. There was a time when, I'll put up a picture, I was growing out my hair and it was a super awkward length. So when I was in the house, I would wear a bandana to keep my bangs out of my eyes. And I actually wanted to start wearing it out in public because what I wanted to do was really just use it for that practical use case, which was to keep the hair out of my eyes, particularly at the gym. But I remember I was so afraid to wear that dang bandana to the gym because I was so afraid that people were going to judge me. And what happened was I would suppress myself. I would suppress who I wanted to be. I suppressed my style. I suppressed my character, not my laughter, but my sense of humor. I suppressed the conversations I would have had if I had no fear. And what I want to show you guys today is the foundation to building confidence. It's actually a very simple process, and you need to build that foundation not just in one area of career or relationships, but you need to build confidence at every single level of your life. If you know you're showing up as your best in one area of your life, that gives you the ability, that gives you the confidence to show up that same way at your maximum potential as your authentic self in every single other area of your life. So what I'm about to show you guys is what I like to call the confidence continuum. This isn't some chat GPT BS. Of course, I made this up myself. Got that software engineer background, so my mind just works like this, that architect, that design. You guys are about to see very simple process. We're going to walk through the confidence continuum, exactly what this means for your life, exactly how to apply it to your life, and exactly how to become the most confident man possible, how to step into that God-given potential, how to step into that authentic self. Let's dive in. Let's go. So this is what I call the confidence continuum, and I need you guys to understand that every single day, we all do the same thing. We all tell ourselves we're going to do certain things. We all give ourselves a word. The question is, what do we do with the word that we give ourselves? Do we keep it or do we break it? And this is the confidence continuum at the high level. But what I first want to focus on is, once again, I need to go back to the importance and the power of your word. Every single day, through your word, you are either breathing life or you're breathing death. You are either building self-belief or you are reinforcing self-doubt. So think about it. Every time I give myself a word, there's one of two options. I either keep that word or I break it. What happens when I keep that word? I start to believe that I can do that thing first and foremost, right? If I tell myself I'm going to make $5 today and I make $5, okay, now I believe I'm going to be able to do that again. So not only does keeping my word give me belief that I can do the same thing again, but also it gives me belief that I can do something a little bit more challenging, particularly when I do something for the first time. Because say I made $5 for the first time. It's like, all right, that wasn't that bad. I can definitely do it again. And you know what? I bet I can make $10 the next time. But the reverse is true. Every single time you give yourself a word and you break it, you reinforce self-doubt. Why would you expect that you're going to be able to do something if when you said you were going to do it, you didn't get it done? It doesn't make any sense. Why would I expect to go to the gym 5 days a week when I tell myself I'm going to do it 3 days a week and I can't even get that done, right? It doesn't make any sense. Why would I even expect to be able to do 3 days a week next week if I didn't even get it done this week? Once again, it makes no sense. So every single time we break that word, we are reinforcing our self-doubt. We are making it that much more difficult for us to actually make a change. What we are doing is we are destroying our confidence. Why would you get it done if you told yourself you were going to get it done and you didn't get it done the first time? It doesn't work that way. So what I need you guys to understand is every single time you give yourself a word, you are either building self-belief or you are reinforcing self-doubt. We're either building that self-belief, we're not only building belief that we can do what we just did again, but we're also building belief that we can do something a little more challenging, or we're building self-doubt. Right? Every single time I told myself, I'm going to go up to that girl. I was with my boys, we're out at the bar, out at a restaurant. They're like, all right, bro, I'll pick up your tab. I'll pay you $20 if you go and say what's up to that girl. In the moment, I'm like, bet, that sounds like a good idea. Let me do it. Not only is there a reward for me, but I'm also going to start to overcome this fear. But every single time I didn't execute, I didn't go up and say hello, that actually reinforced my self-doubt. And the next time that opportunity presented itself, all those times in the past when I said I was going to do it and I didn't, all those times in the past, that's now baggage, that's now debt, self-doubt debt that I'm carrying with me into the future. And it's making it that much more difficult for me to actually do what I want to do. And I don't end up doing it, and I build more and more self-doubt. I get further and further away from operating as the most confident version of myself. So I want to give you guys a scenario of what it looks like to build confidence, what happens when you keep your word to yourself, and I also want to show you guys what happens when you break your word to yourself every single day. And we're going to start with the latter, which is what happens when we tell ourselves we're going to do something and we break that word. Think about it this way. I told myself I was going to get up at 6 a.m. today. I broke that word. Boom. Not only is it going to be more difficult for me to get up at 6 a.m. tomorrow, but also I've just destroyed my confidence for the day. I've started the day with an L. How do I expect myself to show up confidently and execute on everything else I know that's going to make me a better version of myself, that's going to help me move into the most powerful version of myself as a man? Why would I expect myself to execute and get those things done when I can't even get it done first thing in the morning? So I break my word to myself. I don't even get out of bed on time. You know what? I told myself I was going to go to the gym early in the morning, but because I got up late, I don't have time to go to the gym. I have to go straight to work. Once again, I end up breaking my word to myself. The same thing happens. Now I'm already in this negative place. I'm already in this place where I don't have a lot of self-belief. So when it comes time to eat the healthy meal and get something from the work cafe, I'm like, screw it, man. I'm not motivated to do the thing that I know is best for me. I'm not motivated to show up as the best version of myself. I'm going to take the easy route. I'm going to go with the boys and, get a pizza slice or something like that. I break my word again. I don't eat healthy. And then I'm home, I get home, it was a long day at work, I did nothing good for myself, didn't wake up on time, didn't go to the gym, didn't eat healthy. I'm like, damn, I've had no positive dopamine. I've had no real dopamine all day. Even though I told myself I wasn't going to scroll on that website, scroll on the hub, even though I told myself I wasn't going to do that, I would really enjoy a quick little hit of dopamine. So I'm going to break that word to myself too. I'm going to just go on the hub and scroll and get a quick dopamine hit. And this is what happens. Every time we break that word, we're making it more difficult for ourselves. We are reinforcing self-doubt. We are giving ourselves less belief in the man we know we want to be, in the man we know we're capable of becoming. If I say, and I know I can wake up on time, I can go to the gym, I can eat healthy, I can stay off the hub, I know I'm capable of that. But every time I say I'm going to show up as that version and I don't, that just wrecks my confidence. That just enforces massive self-doubt. So you have to understand the power of your word, and you have to treat it with so much respect. This is why it's so important to build one habit at a time. Don't make it difficult for yourself. Don't put yourself in a position to fail. For example, if you haven't been in the gym at all, or you've never tracked your macros before, don't tell yourself you're going to go to the gym 6 days a week. Don't tell yourself you're going to track every single macro for every single meal on that first week. Start small. Start where you can give yourself a simple word. I'm going to go to the gym 1 to 2 times this week. And you do it. And you keep your word 100% of the time. And that gets back to what I talked about building self-belief. All right, I did this simple thing. Now I know I can do that. And I have more faith I can do something a little bit more difficult. So let's look at what that scenario looks like, right? I tell myself I'm going to get up on time for once, and I do it. It's like, all right, I know I can do that tomorrow. And I do that, maybe that's just where I'm starting. I'm just getting up at the same time 5 days a week for 2 weeks straight. But I want to be 100%. I don't want to break my word once, because every single time I keep my word, I start to build up confidence. I start to build up self-belief. But every single time I break my word, I start to regress. So even if I keep my word one day, but then I break it again the next day, I'm back at baseline, right? But let's think about it, right? Okay, I have a little bit of self-belief. I bet I can start going to the gym now. So I tell myself I'm going to start going to the gym. I do it 3 days a week. Boom, money. I keep my word every single time. I start integrating the nutrition. I'm going to eat 3 meals every single day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. A lot of guys struggle with that. I'm going to hit my protein all 3 of those meals. Boom, I do that, right? I tell myself I'm going to say what's up to that girl, or I'm going to spend an hour after work 4 days a week focusing on something that's going to advance my career. And I do that. Now you can see my self-belief, my confidence, it's starting to skyrocket. It's starting to grow because I'm keeping my word to myself every single day. And I'm only committing to the things I know I can do. Because I rather be in a place where I'm keeping my word and doing less than trying to do more but not keeping my word, right? That's just counterintuitive. It's not bringing us to any place that's sustainable, any place where we're actually consistent, any place where we're actually building discipline. We want to be at a place where you believe every single time you tell yourself you're going to do something, you do it. That's how you become the most confident version of yourself. Every single time you realize this is something that's authentic to me, I want to do it, you show up that way. I don't care what people think. I'm going to wear the outfit that I like. I don't care what people think. I'm going to say the jokes that I think are funny. I don't care what people think. I don't need alcohol to feel comfortable and feel secure in myself. I'm going to be me, and if people don't like it, that's okay. I don't care if the girl rejects me and laughs at me or thinks I'm stupid or just won't talk to me, right? Because I'm confident in who I am. I show up every single day as the best version of myself. This is why we want to become the most confident version of ourselves, because when you're the most confident version of yourself, you're the most authentic version of yourself, and you're the most powerful version of yourself in every single area, physically, mentally, spiritually, in your career, in your relationships, and you're living the best life possible. You're fulfilled and you're in your purpose. So you guys, once again, you need to understand that your word is life or death. And it's not just a one-time commitment. This is an every single day commitment. It's an every single day decision that has to be followed by every single day action. Because if we end up in the situation where, All right, you know, I got up early, and I went to the gym, and I ate healthy, and I didn't go on that website. Bet we get to Friday, our confidence is high. But if I make decisions on the weekend, I tell myself I wasn't going to smoke, but I do it. Boom, I'm back here. I tell myself I'm going to hit the gym. I skip that. I'm back here. I tell myself I'm not going to go and chase hookups. I skip that. I'm back here. I tell myself I'm going to plan on Sunday what I want to do for the upcoming week. I don't do that. Now here I am. It comes to Monday. I'm in a place where my confidence is destroyed. I'm in a place where I have so much more self-doubt now, right? I'm not in a place of confidence momentum. I'm in a place of insecurity and self-doubt. And this is the process that I had to realize, I had to commit to and ingrain in my mind. I had to make decisions that were aligned with my word, and I had to make sure my actions followed my word. And this is what I had to do to become the most confident version of myself, to go from a dude who was insecure. The last place you would have seen me is on social media, who wouldn't even go up to a girl, even if my dude would give me $100, to the most confident version of myself with an incredible wife, an incredible business, living the best life I possibly could, with a connection with God, a deep relationship with God, where God has shown me who I am, the most powerful version of me, and I'm able to wake up and show up as that version of myself every single day. I realize that as I get older, there's only growth and maturity. That's the only option. If I'm not growing, I'm dying. And I'm confident that I can show up and mature into that man, into a better version of myself, that I can kill the boy in me every single day and let more of that new man be born. So this is what you need to do. Keep your word. Tell yourself what you're going to do it. Tell yourself what you're going to do it. What's also important is you have to have systems in place to actually do this consistently, to actually build discipline. And I understand if you're struggling with these things. I understand if you can't keep locked in with the gym, if you can't keep locked in with the nutrition, if you can't keep locked in with the vices, if you don't know how to go about talking to a girl, right? You don't know how to push yourself through those places of fear into those uncomfortable situations so that you can build confidence. And if that's the position that you're in, something you might just need, brother, is some accountability, right? So this is exactly what I do with my guys. This is what we do, is we build specific systems to help you stay accountable, to help you build consistency and discipline so that you can show up as the most confident version of yourself every single day. It's not a one-time decision, it's an every single day decision. You are capable of being that man. I know it because you're here watching this video. So if that's something you're interested in, talking about what we could do, seeing if we're a good fit, you want to talk about your goals, you want to tell me about your vision, where you want to head, what we can do, we can brainstorm, we can see if we're a good fit. If I can help you, that's super dope. I'll help you. If I can't, that's okay too. I'll at least point you in the right direction. If you want to have that conversation completely free, my bro, just check out the link in the description of this video. You can book a one-on-one call with me. We'll jump on, we'll chat, we'll see where you're at, we'll see where you want to be, we'll see what's holding you back from becoming that most confident version of yourself. And in the meantime, tell yourself what you're going to do. Start small. Keep that word every single day. Become an absolute beast. Become the man God created you to be. Let's go!